This week in Battlefield, we got a few official posts from EA and DICE in regards to upcoming playtests, as well as the main talking point this week, which was a post about how they're planning on doing the class system in the upcoming Battlefield game, and that has sparked a lot of frustration within the community, so it's fair to say there is quite a lot to go through in today's episode. If you guys are interested in seeing a weekly news recap for Battlefield just like this one, and you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all of the upcoming content. But with that being said, let's get stuck into another episode of This Week in Battlefield. Now, first and foremost, just to kind of get the smaller news out of the way, we got this tweet about a server performance test happening this weekend for Battlefield Labs. And so I'm just going to quickly run you guys through all of this, and then we'll get to the real talking point for the week. Just the other day, they tweeted out saying, "Hello everyone, as part of our ongoing efforts to test the future of Battlefield, starting May 23, we'll be running a one-time 72-hour pre-alpha server performance test in Europe, North America, and select areas of Asia. This test will be invite only and for a limited time. If you've signed up for EA playtesting, then watch out for an RSVP email with steps on how to participate. Our primary focus for this test will be to verify server performance and stability with increased player counts throughout a full weekend. During this time, we'll have a select group of maps and modes available for play. The server performance test will conclude in all regions after 72 hours, upon which game access for participants will be revoked. This one-off pre-alpha server performance test will start rolling out from Friday, 23rd of May at 10 AM CEST, with a gradual entry into the test for participants. Stay tuned to your inbox for an invite to participate over the coming days." And then they've just got a bunch of stuff about essentially how to sign up, which I'm sure most of you guys have already signed up for Battlefield Labs anyway. Now, this is pretty interesting to see. It is essentially just like realistically an alpha, even though it says in the title it's pre-alpha, so it is not technically an alpha, but this is more of like one of those proper, you know, what we typically get to play as like an alpha or a beta playtest that is just live for a whole weekend. As far as I know, with the labs playtests, they seem to be smaller sessions that are a lot more controlled, and it might only go for, say, like a handful of hours, and it's not the entire weekend. This one is 72 hours straight, and it's going to be playable the entire time, and it seems like it is essentially just to stress the servers and see how it all plays when there's a lot of people playing. So that there is some relatively big news. You guys might be a lot more likely to get invited to this playtest, because I dare say they're going to bring a lot more people in. If they're trying to stress the servers, they want more people playing it. And so if you are in Europe, North America, or select parts of Asia, which they didn't clarify, so it's hard to say where that is, but if you're in those regions, keep your eyes peeled on your email, because you might be a lot more likely this weekend to actually get into the playtest. Now, moving on to the main talking point for this week, and this one has been pretty controversial. It's kind of the first time, obviously, in a lot of the recent videos that I've done here, all of the news we get, whether it's leaks or actual news, it seems to be all really positive. Everyone's kind of excited for this game. It's looking good. People are a lot more optimistic about it. And this, to me, is probably the first time where I've seen a bit of outrage, if I'm going to be honest. People are actually pretty annoyed by what I'm about to go through. So DICE just in the recent days have released their latest dev update. This one being titled The Class System Part 1. Now, the Part 1 is interesting because obviously that means they are going to come back to this, which is going to be very interesting to see. But regardless, this first blog post that they've done about the class system, it's caused a lot of drama. And so I'm going to read through the entire thing to give you guys all of the info, and then I'll actually give my thoughts on this at the end as well, because it is a relatively controversial topic. They started off by saying, "Today we're excited to start outlining our future vision for the class system in Battlefield. The gameplay mechanics of classes and aspects that players have enjoyed the most have evolved throughout the history of Battlefield. Our goal within Battlefield Labs is to test and refine the best aspects of the class system from our history and evolve them into a cohesive vision for the future. As we begin testing these class-defining systems, we invite you to either play, test, or read along with what's to come for classes in Battlefield. Our design philosophy for classes. We envision the future of Battlefield classes to be a series of interconnected systems and fundamentals that shape your role on the field, while granting you the freedom to customize how you execute that role. Through Battlefield Labs play sessions, feedback, and data gathering, we aim to strike a balance between defined roles and player choice." They then included this image that you guys can see here that is kind of what we're about to go through. They obviously go a little bit more in depth into this, but this is just worth seeing that they've spread these into two different areas, that being customizable and then class defining. The class system is defined by two main components, customizable and class defining. The customizable components empower players to explore and push the boundaries of their roles within their chosen class while also still adhering to the expectations of the class. The class defining components are designed to enhance pick up and go playability and reinforce the expectations of your class identity. They then broke it down into these two different sections. So under customizable, they've got weapon loadouts, and it says fully customizable weapon loadouts allow you the freedom to play the way you want. Play to the strengths of your class by using your signature weapons or easily switch to any other weapon to meet the needs of your squad. Class gadgets, you'll have the option to carry 2 gadgets onto the battlefield tailored to each class and its specific role. Recon aficionados specialize in intelligence and counterintelligence with class gadgets including deploy beacons, anti-personnel mines, and laser designators. Training, our philosophy with training is to offer a series of traits that can be unlocked during play to enhance your ability to perform your role. As you engage more in a match, you'll gradually earn flat stat bonuses and more to support the effectiveness of your role further. Throwables, our approach to throwables prioritizes enabling each class to effectively fulfill its role by providing tailored throwables. They then moved on to the class defining elements, and they've said signature weapons. Each class has a signature weapon category tied to their class identity, which when used enhances their role on the battlefield. For example, using our same ongoing test subject, the recon class, if you select a weapon from the sniper rifle category, you will benefit from increased breath holding duration. In contrast, an assault player choosing from the same category will not receive this bonus. DMRs, carbines, and shotguns remain viable options no matter your class, but don't benefit from any signature weapon bonus. There's also then the signature trait, signature gadget, and default weapon packages as well. For the signature trait, it says each class features a unique signature trait, providing passive bonuses tailored to optimize your role on the battlefield. For instance, the recon player automatically spots enemies while aiming down sights, encouraging the use of weapons that complement this specialization. Signature gadget, these gadgets are unique and singular to each class with an aim for you to always have access to tools that fulfill the role of that class. These are separate from what you may choose as gadgets within your loadout. Lastly, there is the default weapon packages. The default weapon package is a preset combination of attachments and visual customization for each class to be combat ready, with the option for further progression and personalization. So that's pretty much all of the actual information on what this class system is going to involve. They finally said the class system and its individual components will be available for testing within the Battlefield Labs in the coming weeks. Participants will be able to go hands-on with these features, discuss, and provide feedback. Following further play sessions, we'll be back with another community update to unpack class components in more detail and share learnings based on participant feedback. So that is essentially all of the information in that blog post. To, I guess, quickly summarize this, it seems as though it is pretty much the same as it is in 2042, where the weapons are choosable by any class and you'll have a weapon proficiency. So if you, like they said in this, if you pick the sniper rifle when you're playing as a recon, well, you'll get a little bonus for that. Whereas if you were to pick an SMG as the recon class, you just don't get that little bonus. And so, like I said, this has caused a lot of drama within the Battlefield community. This is, like I said, the first time that I've seen a lot of people really complaining about this. And I'd say the overwhelming majority of opinions that I've seen are that this is a bad idea and that they should go back to locking weapons to classes. So that's sort of where a lot of this drama has come into play. Now, this might sound kind of weird, but I've actually got two different opinions about this in a weird way. Now, my own opinion, when I remove everyone else's opinion and all of that stuff and just think about what I want, I personally don't care. If they do it this way, I'm okay with that. I don't think it is the end of the world if I can pick, you know, a medic and use a sniper rifle. I don't think that ruins the game or anything like that. So for me, I don't really mind either way. And yet on the flip side, I guess my second opinion on this is that they need to listen to the community. And so it doesn't matter what I think. I do think that they should just lock the weapons to the classes like they were in the older Battlefield games. Even though I don't personally care, it is very clear that a lot of people very much do care. And I think DICE really need to actually listen to this feedback and go, okay, we're going to listen and we're going to change what we were planning, because that is clearly what the community wants. I think that would earn them a lot of trust back. Like I said, a lot of the, I guess, PR around this game, due to all of the leaks and stuff, it's been really positive. Everyone seems to be like watching the leaks and stuff and going, damn, this actually kind of looks pretty decent. And yet this is the first, I guess, bumpy moment where it could sway the other way if they don't play it carefully. So in my opinion, this is a perfect time for them to come out and actually really listen to this feedback and just straight up say, all right, we heard you. We are going to lock the weapons to the classes like they were in like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Like I said, even though I personally don't care, I do think that's the smart option, and I don't think that makes the game worse. Even though I'm fine with them being unlocked, I'm also just as fine with them being locked. I think that worked in all of the previous ones. There are pros and cons to each way that they do it, but with this game seemingly looking like it is trying to kind of go back to the roots of like the Battlefield 3 and 4 era, I don't think they need to be messing around with, you know, all right, we're going to take it back to the feeling of Battlefield 3 and 4, but hey, here's this new way to do a class system. No, just stop and just give us the experience that you're kind of selling. Because if you want this to be that, you know, back to its roots type of game, it needs to have something like the class system down pat, because that is realistically one of the biggest differentiating factors from Battlefield compared to games like Call of Duty, for example, where there isn't a class system, and that's something that Battlefield's always been known for. And so to me, they really do need to nail the class system. I think the specialist system in 2042 is one of the main reasons that game is hated. And so, yeah, I really think they need to listen to the feedback here. It's going to be very interesting to see what they say after all of this. Like I said, they will be coming back with another post. As I mentioned, this is part 1, and so I dare say that 72-hour playtest over the weekend will come and go. They might do another labs playtest in like 2 weeks or something. And then I dare say a week or two after that, so maybe like a month from now, we'll probably get the part 2 of this, where it is definitely going to be very interesting to see which way they've gone. I really do hope they just put out a tweet and say, all right, we heard you guys, we're going to change it. And I think that would earn a lot of sort of brownie points for DICE, where all the leaked gameplay and everything, it's looked really good. And then they had this little road bump, but they listened to us and they've changed it to what we want. I think that would just set us all on the right path, that we would have some trust in EA and DICE again, because they really do need to earn that back. So that is my thoughts on it. I'm definitely keen to hear your thoughts down below as well, though. So let me know your thoughts on whether the weapons should be locked or unlocked, as well as some reasons why, if you have any reasons. I'm definitely keen to hear all of your thoughts down below. And with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.